It is one of the most beautiful and picturesque vacation destinations, and now it's on the brink of an all-out war. After 26 people, most of them tourists, were killed in the Indian-held part of Kashmir, tensions are rising. India pointing fingers at Pakistan for the deadly attack, where rebels stormed the scenic tourist mountain resort with automatic weapons. Pakistan denies any involvement in the attack. That horrific incident plunging already shaky relations between the two nuclear powers to new lows. And Pakistan says there is credible evidence that India intends to strike Pakistan at any moment. We're already seeing evidence of a much bigger threat, too. A Pakistani military source telling us there has already been sporadic gunfire on the Kashmir border. Pakistan's ambassador to the United States, Rizwan Saeed Sheikh, now calling on President Trump to get involved, saying if we have a president who is standing for peace in the world, to establish a legacy as a peacemaker or as someone who finished wars, defied wars, and played a role in deconfliction, I don't think there is any higher or flashier flashpoint, particularly in nuclear terms, as Kashmir. Pakistan's ambassador to the United States, Rizwan Saeed Sheikh, joins me now. Ambassador, thank you so much for being with me.
Thank you for having me, Kira.
I want to get your first response, of course, to India accusing your country of supporting terrorism. What do you say?
Well, Kira, as you know, Pakistan itself has been the worst victim of terrorism anywhere in the world. Apart from the Afghanistan territory itself, Pakistan has been suffering over the past decades, not just years, from terrorism. Only last year, we had no less than 1,000 incidents of terrorism in a calendar year, which was actually a 40% increase over 2023. And while India lacks or has not been able to show or produce any shred of evidence till today, Pakistan has lost 75,000 lives and hundreds of billions of dollars of losses in economic terms we have suffered for reasons of not only being the worst victim of terrorism, but actually being the frontline state against the global terrorism, in the global combat against terrorism. So having said that, we are currently, to recover from the economic losses that we faced in that war and global combat, we are embarked on an economic reform and restructuring strategy. And the kind of last thing that we would need is a neighborhood that is not stable. We need a peaceful neighborhood, and any allegations of that sort, they would need evidence, and the context where we are trying to embark on an economic recovery, revival, restructuring, reform strategy, it is unthinkable.
It is unthinkable. And now this group calling itself the Resistance Front is claiming on social media it's behind these killings. Are you familiar with this group? And are you investigating any group of this nature or a group tied to any other terrorist groups that you're familiar with?
We have nothing to do with this group, not familiar with this group. If India says that there is a group like that, they should be able to deal with it. Because what they have done so far is that they have raided houses, including the houses reportedly of the three people whose sketches were circulated as being the perpetrators in these terrorist attacks. So if they are situated in the Indian illegally occupied Jammu and Kashmir, which you know is a disputed territory, it is for India to look at the administration that they have there. If 700,000 strong security forces presence cannot ensure peace, whether it is Pahalgam or any other part of that disputed territory, illegally occupied territory, then what would? They need to look inwards and not blame Pakistan for administrative inadequacies, electoral deficiencies, or brutal and repressional legacies.
You know, Pakistan has also conducted military exercises as well, and there's grave concern among world leaders that these two superpowers, that something really horrible can happen on a much bigger level. So what do you tell world leaders right now that are looking at India and Pakistan and are very concerned?
Well, on our part, what we can do is that we can exercise restraint. But if there is any attack on our territory, Pakistan will respond with full force and all that we have within our means. We do not want to initiate anything, but in a nuclear neighborhood, if it gets started, nobody knows where it goes. We want peace. Yes, it suits us, particularly, as I've mentioned, in the context of our economic reform, restructuring, and ascendance. But we want peace with dignity. It should not in any way be seen as a sign of weakness that we are interested in peace.
Ambassador, thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Kira.